Today I'm going to show you how you can make a Christmas tree bauble to hang on the Christmas tree. To make the bauble you need 6 pieces of paper, 2 pieces that are 10 centimetres by 10 centimetres, 2 that are 7.5 by 7.5 centimetres and 2 that are 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. You also need a bit of glue, a star bead to go on top of your Christmas tree, another bead to hold the Christmas tree together, and a piece of thread to hang the Christmas tree. You use 2 pieces of the same sized paper to make each layer of the Christmas tree, and both pieces of paper are folded exactly the same. So first you take the piece of paper, you place it front side down and fold it in half, corner to corner. Open it out and then fold the other corner to corner. Open the paper out, and this time with the paper face up, fold in half side to side. Open it up and then fold in half side to side the other direction. Now you do exactly the same with the other piece of paper, so that you have 2 pieces exactly identical. So one of the pieces you turn face down and the other one you place on top so that the creases match with each other. So you should get a star shape like this. Just line those up. And then you fold these corners over the top of your uppermost sheet of paper. Then you turn the papers over, keep them together, and do the same on the other side. So these corners are folded over so that you can't see the underside of any paper. So we've got flaps on both sides at the moment. Now we want to tuck in the flaps from the top side so that they don't appear underneath. So I'm just going to tuck that one in and that one. So when all the flaps are tucked in, on the underside here we should see no flaps. Now we're just going to use a bit of glue to hold down these flaps. So when they're secured, we should have a nice side with no flaps showing and one side where the flaps are showing. So we now want to reinforce the creases So we should fold it in this direction and this direction, and then like this. So we're just following the original creases. Now when we have it, show it without the flaps showing, we can easily collapse it into a little rocket shape. So what we've got now is 4 flaps. So with 2 flaps on each side, you want to lift up the top right flap, and we're going to squash this one flat. So if we put our finger inside the flap and push it down from the point so that it's squashed flat evenly. And then we take the left hand side of that flap and fold it on top of the right. Now we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we lift the left flap up, get a finger inside, and then gently squash that one flap, trying to make as sharp a point as we can at the top there. And then this time we'll fold that one to the right. So there we've got our 2 flaps are squashed. So if we now turn it over and we do exactly the same on the other side, now all of our flaps are squashed. So if we just even them out a little bit, you can see here we have the first layer of our Christmas tree. You then do the same with the other sheets of paper, so that you have got 2 other layers for your Christmas tree, slightly smaller in size. So each of the layers will sit on top of each other to make your Christmas tree. So to attach the layers, we need to cut a tiny hole in the top of each layer. And I do mean a tiny hole. So you want to snip the very, very end of your Christmas tree. So that is a really tiny bit, because when you open it out, that will actually become quite a bit bigger. So you only want the very tip of the layer snipped off. Then to attach the layers together, now you could just stick the ends of your thread to the bottom of your bottom Christmas tree layer, but that's a little bit fiddly. So what I like to do is take a bead and thread it onto my piece of string, then knot the piece of string, got a knot on the end there, and then with the knot of the string down with the bead, thread the string up through the base of the bottom layer of the Christmas tree, It's a little bit fiddly, but I don't want to cut the hole any bigger unless I really have to. There we go. So through the bottom layer, then through the middle layer, and then finally through the top layer. Right. So make my shape back into a Christmas tree, and then all of the pieces will stay, all of the layers will stay attached. So now, to keep everything in place, we just want to take a little bit of glue and spread it around the top of the Christmas tree. Go all the way around. You can afford to be quite generous, especially if you're using PVA glue that dries clear, because we're going to stick our star on top. So when we have plenty of glue, we can take our star bead. Now make sure that you'll thread the star from the base and not from the point, otherwise your star will be upside down. And then slide it on, and then your Christmas tree bauble is created. Now you might want to hang that from something while the glue is drying so that the Christmas tree stays in shape. And there we have a very simple paper fold for a Christmas tree bauble.